welcome back to episode 6 of our socially responsible investment series. My name is Brad Wilson, financial advisor with KLT Wealth Management, and I'm joined once again by my colleague, Courtney Beach. In today's video, we're going to touch on the fourth of the 5 different SRI approaches. So today we are looking at impact investing, which can also be known as positive investing. And so what that means is that this is where managers try to find companies that are actively involved in making change. And that could be either environmentally or socially. So Courtney, do you want to explain a bit further on what their goals are in these funds?
Yeah, so what managers are looking for when they create these funds is they have a concrete, measurable goal that they're trying to achieve. Some are even trying to achieve their goals by a certain date. And like you said, Brad, these could be social change, they could be environmental, they could be about diversity. It really has a broad spectrum. And unlike exclusionary funds, these funds sometimes invest what I like to call the best of the worst. So you might have a fund, for instance, that's invested in reducing carbon footprint, but it may actually be invested in fossil fuel companies. Now, when they do this, the idea is they invest in those companies that are the best, that are trying to make impact by making innovation or changes to reduce their carbon footprint. So one thing you really need to be aware when you have one of these impact funds is, are they invested in things that you are actually comfortable with? If you're not comfortable with fossil fuels, for instance, then you might want to look under the hood to see if the companies are invested in those.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I think with these sort of funds, the companies might not necessarily be producing or providing services in areas that are necessarily good for the environment, but they're extracurriculars and they're trying to innovate in those spaces.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what the focus is when it comes to impact and positive investing. It's innovating and making change for the good.
Yeah, and not all the funds would be invested in those kinds of companies, but there are definitely ones that are.
Yeah, for sure. So that kind of wraps up the fourth approach, which is impact investing. And if you have any questions regarding any of the 4 approaches we've been through already, or something you'd like us to cover in any future episodes, please let us know. We will wrap up with the 5th approach, the beginning half of this video series in 2 weeks, with activism investing. So once we get through those, the 5 approaches will have all been explained, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into actual implementation and details on some of the investments when it comes to socially responsible investments. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out the previous episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.